As Ugandans ushered in a new year punctuated with a tinge of optimism, that hope was shattered in the remote villages of Mkomasimbi district and fed into the creeping fear that criminals have turned the country into a heaven of crime. The sleepy rhythms of Bukomasimbi had been enveloped by the close of fear and profound grief after 6 locals lay dead at the hands of 2 panga-wielding men. 36-year-old Chiza Kayingi is lucky to be alive, whereas his scars on the head inflicted by the blows of a panga continue to heal. He is still haunted by the night of 1st January 2018.
Yena agenda jini kati mukumpa pulira ajja atambule mabega kati kwe kukyuka nakyuka wenakoma saddamu kutegeera kiri ku nsi okuddamu okuddamu okulaba n'okutegeera nga ndi mu ddwaliro nkeera.
Many of those who witnessed the killings bear visible scars and remain shackled to fear.
Naye tetumanyi kiddirira.
This house belonged to Evelyn, a shop attendant who was killed as she served revelers as they awaited the new year.
Kati abatemu bwe bava eri wansi ne basanga wana abantu ne bakuba abantu wana emiggo kati ne bakuba endabirwamu ezo ne bakola ki zino ndowooza era mulaba oluggi baalukuba endabirwamu zonna ne bazaasaayasa ne bakuba eddirisa ne balyasaayasa kati ye bamala ne balumba eri omukazi mu kasitoowa emmanji gye yali yeekwese ne bamusikayo kati n'abeetakkuluza akadduke kati nga baamukubye edda ebiwundu ebinene.
The nearest police station, which had only 2 police officers, is 15 kilometers from the trading center. By the time police arrived, the criminals had moved to terrorize Chisaka village, where a retired police officer was killed.
Soja village in Bukomasimbi district was the most affected village in Bukomasimbi district when panga-wielding men came here, attacked, killed and even injured people. And now 4 months later, they're back and they're threatening to take more lives.
Kinga kigamba nti tugenda batema ku Lwokubiri ng'ennaku z'omwezi 10. Naye eky'omukisa omulungi osi yennyini beegabanyizaamu babadde abantu abawera 10. 5 ne basigala ku ssomero, 5 ne bajja ne babeera ewange naye ne bagamba gwe weebake.
Kubeera abasirikale betulinawo tebayinza abetwayongeddeko abamu tebayinza tukuuma bbanga lyonna eriddako kuba bano abasajja bajja ne bakulaaliko olwaleero ne bakulaaliza emyezi 2 ne bakomawo ne bakola ki ne bakola kye baagala.
Greater Masaka Deputy Regional Police Commander, who also doubles as the area spokesperson, Lamek Chikozi, revealed that they have a shortage of officers.
The situation is still appalling. I wouldn't deceive you. You would go to a police post like Rusakarwa Mese, because I've been there, find there are only 2 police personnel. There are 2 police personnel covering about, these are like 2-3 parishes. 2-3 parishes, but with vibrant economic activities. People are doing agriculture, people have vanilla plantations, people have their properties which need security from government.
During the last council meeting in February this year in Chigo, Wakiso district, it was resolved to close police stations at village level to cope with the shortage.
You would find a sub-county having 5, but not effective at all, because of numbers and the duty schedule. People are being fatigued, people are being overworked. Because you yourself imagine somebody working and having nobody to relieve him from duty. So it means that person is having an abnormal schedule, which is not acceptable in public service. But because of circumstances beyond our own making, we have been compelled to be doing things in that abnormal way.
This strain is felt in Mityana and Mubende districts grappling with a wave of crime, where each sub-county level has only 3 to 4 police officers.
We are having a challenge of manpower. We are still having a challenge of manpower, but the police leadership has promised to give us manpower.
Whereas the underprivileged communities in the country continue to bear the brunt of crime, which is spiraling out of control, the rich and well-connected group of Ugandans are using their ties to secure their safety. As police shirks its responsibility, security provision is now an exclusive right for the rich who can afford to hire police officers.
We do have some individuals who have gone to the IGP, given in their reasons, and they have been given guards. For instance, Madivan was given guards, and he's paying government revenue.
A rich individual can have access to bodyguards twice the number of an entire sub-county police force.
Do not look at a person with money in the pocket as the VIP, because we have same rights, we have same blood, we go to the same hospital. If I die, my children will suffer the same way. Even the rich person's children will suffer in one way, physically, mentally, it is the same. Meaning in Uganda here, there is a gap that is only those with exposure, first of all, with the connection, with money, and maybe others, because of good offices, they can influence and get. And the common man is left out.
The Public Service Standing Orders, Section 71, identifies a section of Ugandans entitled to VIP protection, and these are judges, police officers at the rank of commissioners and above, Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Parliament, diplomats, and heads of government agencies. But this privilege has been abused by those entitled and other Ugandans, most of whom don't fall under this category. So who exactly is a VIP and what's their bodyguard entitlement?
There are those who hold offices, and by virtue of those offices, it comes with those entitlements.
Let's take, for instance, the judges, ministers, commissioners of police, and heads of government agencies. Uganda currently has 77 judges in total, namely 11 Supreme Court justices, 13 Court of Appeal justices, 53 High Court judges, 1 Secretary to the Judiciary, and 1 Chief Registrar. Because of their spatial status, the Chief Justice, Batka Tudebe, the Deputy Chief Justice, Alphonse Owinyidolo, and the Principal Judge, Yorokamba Mwine, each have 25 bodyguards, distributed into home guards and escorts in the lead car as well as the patrol pickup truck. In total, the 3 judicial leaders alone have approximately 75 guards. The other justices and judges of the High Court, each, according to the terms of service, are entitled to a bodyguard and 2 home guards. In total, 231 police escorts and bodyguards are allocated to the judges of the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, and the High Court, the Secretary to the Judiciary, and the Chief Registrar. But the numbers of police officers deployed to guard these judges and justices could be doubled, depending on the security threat. This means that the entire 77 judicial officers are guarded by a number that is more than equal to police officers guarding Wamala region, with a population of 1.5 million people in the 4 districts of Mubende, Chiboga, Mityana and Chankwanzi. There'll even be about 6 to 9 police officers to spare. The next category of people entitled to police protection is ministers. There are 80 ministers in Uganda, 48 state ministers and 30 cabinet ministers. 2 positions remain vacant. But now, assuming that each minister has 3 escorts and 1 bodyguard as provided, this would bring the entire number of escorts and bodyguards for ministers alone to 320. But there are some ministers who have asked to have lead and patrol cars based on real or perceived security threats. Amongst them is the Prime Minister Hakana Rugunda, the Deputy Prime Minister Moses Ali, the Minister for Lands Betty Amongi, the State Minister for Lands Pasis Namuganza, and the Minister of Kampala Betty Kamya. This could push the figure of escorts to about 400 in total guarding Uganda's ministers. The number guarding 80 people is enough to guard almost thrice the size of Wamala region, with a population of 1.5 million people. Then there are 25 Assistant Inspector Generals of Police and 17 Senior Commissioners of Police, with each entitled to a bodyguard. However, others like the IGP, the Deputy IGP and the Director of Criminal Investigations, Grace Akulo, all have lead cars and patrol cars. All heads of government agencies, the number which is close to 40, have bodyguards. Other privileged ones like UNRA Executive Director Allen Kajna, Bank of Uganda Governor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mtebere, KCC Executive Director Jennifer Musisi all have 1 or 2 lead cars. The Minister for Information and ICT, Frank Tumwebaze, says there are no parallels between the minister's security demands and a shortage of police officers.
The fact that a minister is appointed to serve a country, it's not a punishment. You are there to serve a country and you have more threats than perhaps any other ordinary citizen.
Oh.
I am in my farm digging or farming. Perhaps I have not taken decisions that have annoyed X or Y, Z. So to me the comparison doesn't come out. Yes, if police has manpower gaps, just as perhaps any other institution of government has manpower gaps, it can address it gradually. But to say that is because of guarding VIPs, it is to lose the argument. You must give security to VIPs anyway.
Whereas these are special categories of people who are entitled by law, some other Ugandans have used their ties to receive perks and privileges meant for VIPs. This includes the NRM Secretary General Justin Kasule Lumumba, who has a lead and patrol car and is said to have 12 escorts, pastors like Elvis Mbonye of Zoe Ministries, Robert Kayanja of Rubaga Miracle Center, Samuel Kakande of Synagogue Church of All Nations, socialites SK Mbuga and Brian Chirumira alias Brian White, commissioners of the Electoral Commission and other statutory commissions, and a host of other people.
Those that deserve to have lead cars are clearly stipulated in the regulation, in the Traffic and Road Safety Act. And they are not very many, really.
Yes, I would go for that. They should help me because people are after me. You find people are very busy conning people. Here, every time I get a bunch of people are being conned.
According to Section 7 of the Police Act, any person may apply to the Inspector General of Police for a member of the force to be assigned to him or her on special duty. The IGP will then detail such number of police officers as he or she thinks fit on such terms and conditions as he or she considers necessary. The person to whom a police officer is assigned shall meet the cost of assignment. 1/3 of any money collected under subsection 4 shall be paid into the Police Welfare Fund and the remainder into the Consolidated Fund.
I wrote to people who were concerned. I wrote to the DPC. The DPC took the letters to the RPC. RPC confirmed. They gave me those people. He said that he will give the copy to the IGP.
There are no current statistics on how many ordinary Ugandans have VIP protection. However, when I asked socialite Brian Chirumira or Brian White why he moves with counter-terrorism security, this is what he says.
For that case, for me, when I come out, usually, it is rare for me to go to the supermarket. When I get out,
it's lots of problems. People swinging me at my gate. I can't get out. Everything is at me. So seeing those, I have to request sometimes for patrol when I'm going somewhere, because to clear the way. For like one incident, I was going to our village in Michiana, around Ndewa there. Those people had to cross the road. That I have to talk to them first. So I have to get out of the car in the middle of the road first to talk to them. So maybe there it is easy for me when those people help me to clear the road, but it's not a privilege or what, but it's because me, I would love to be like a normal person, because I'm not used to that. But I'm forced to always, and sometimes you may call, they say, we are busy, we cannot get, so I stay home.
Other well-connected people connive with district police commanders and officers in charge of stations to ask for guards for their farms.
Find a person who has been trained as a warrior in counter-terrorism, or even in any other capacity, deployed to guard a certain bar and scan people who are going to drink. It is what I wanted to tell you, that there is misallocation of resources.
In September last year, 2 police officers, Special Police Constables Moses Kalunji and Hussein Mubiru, both attached to Mutundwe Police Post, were killed at Kalere in a robbery. Then police spokesperson Asan Kasinje confirmed that the 2 had been privately contracted by a bakery farm to escort the transfer of its day's cash collection. Police later arrested Samuel Kaziwe, the officer in charge of Mutundwe Police Post. In February this year, 2 more police officers were killed while they illegally guarded a private property. There are 168 private security organizations in the country with a 50,000 force.
The coming in of private security firms fills that gap, and must. You rarely see police officers guarding banks anymore, because we can't afford it. We can't afford to be anywhere, everywhere. So the private security firms fill that gap, and we give them support as we look at the bigger picture of protecting everyone with the services that we provide.
Do we have the capacity? As the physical capacity, we have the capacity. The government and the police has entrusted us with firearms. Police has opened for us that we can go and seek for training, actually. Anytime, like my company, if I want, through the Commission of Private Security and the Director of Operations, we can get support in terms of training from Uganda Police.
1,746 officers in VIPPU. In the last 8 years, police records indicate that this number has grown to 2-folds, to 3,500. This means that VIPPU has been growing by 438 police officers every year to protect the very important people, or those who claim to be so.
We could talk of technology. How can we enhance this? Have less numbers, but become more effective. All these are the issues, and we look up to everyone concerned to think this direction, so that we can provide a consistent, credible service to Ugandans, all Ugandans.
At a time when each police station is supposed to have 20 police officers but only has 4 with no patrol cars, questions of priority and who will guard the underclass have been pushed to the back burners. Police in 2015 halted recruitment of new cadets over financial constraints. And so it appears that more and more financially able people can access police escort services to secure their safety. But ordinary Ugandans stare a bleak future as they try to seek refuge from criminals who have been given a free rein to leave a trail of bloodshed. Sheila Nduhukire, NTV Panorama.